So in May of 2021, we were out in the Hurricane, Utah area. We decided this day that we would go to Toquerville Falls. We'd heard a lot about it. So we got up that morning and headed out, staying in the St. George area. Drove through Hurricane. And got all our provisions together and realized we needed to stop and top off the tanks. Didn't know how far we would be, how long we'd be gone for the day. So trusty old Sinclair was along the way. So Chris had done a good bit of research on some of the trails out there, and this Toquerville was one that we was really looking forward to. Probably a 30-45 minute drive from where we were staying there at the St. George area through Hurricane up there. So we stopped beginning of the trail and aired down. Started easing up the trail. The beginning of it was pretty straightforward, nothing too radical. Did see a good many tour vehicles on this trail and other people on the trail. Saw some that we were really surprised that the vehicles they were on this thing. Apparently, a few years ago, most of this trail was like the beginning here, or reasonably maintained, and most any vehicle could make it up to the falls through years of erosion and lots of traffic. It's created a few obstacles along the way. This Hurricane, Utah area was some of our favorite of the entire Utah trip. We went up through Moab and run a lot of the trails up there too later. We started off down in Hurricane and went out to Sand Hollow State Park, and that whole area down there is ripe with trails, and met a lot of nice people while we were out there. One in particular was the Napa bunch in St. George. We had some problems with a power steering pump, and those guys were absolutely fabulous. So if you're ever out in the St. George area, the Napa store, which is the sister store to the one in Hurricane, same owners and same group, they highly recommend trading with those folks if you're out that way.
From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We're meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
This road sees a good bit of traffic. While we were out there, we ran into a few vehicles on it, but you can tell there's a good bit of traffic on this road. We were there on a weekday. I'm sure the weekend gets pretty busy, especially in the summertime, with the waterfalls up here being a popular swimming location.
to be in the great outdoors, forever free. You and me, meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
So we were starting to get into a few more obstacles. It was a little more difficult. This area right here was not only a pretty good ledge, but just ahead of the Jeep there's a pretty good off-camber section. You see how off-camber it is looking at the level of the ridge ahead of us. So I had Sharon driving. She was having a blast driving. I was flying the drone from the passenger seat. You see the off camber there. Yeah, it was a little spooky. It's not far up above us here. If you watch Matt's Off-Road channel, YouTube channel, there's been a few recoveries at the tower on Toquerville Falls. And the radio tower is just ahead of us and up a very steep hill to the left. So we're getting really close to the falls now. So I don't know if I've ever run across the top of a set of falls, especially driving. So we decided we'd set up here, have our lunch. Had some steak and cheese sandwiches that we needed to get on the grill. I was looking for a place to set the Jeeps up and open up the back doors, set our little kitchen area up. Took a few pictures while we were preparing lunch. So then we headed out, and we didn't turn around and come back the way we went. We actually followed the trail on around, and again, this is where some don't go this way because it is a little more difficult. Crosses the creek a handful of times. So while we were back at the falls, while we were cooking, a group of ATV riders came up and talked with us. And they get together every first weekend, or every month they get together, and they ride somewhere. So they all live out in southern Utah and northern Arizona area, and they seem to have a blast. They were fun to talk to. It was really dry when we were out there. I've seen some videos when they're down in this area when it's really wet and people are stuck, and Matt's off-road again, or out there trying to get people out of there, and it can get pretty nasty out there. Kind of like what we deal with in Georgia. In the mountains of Georgia, it's not so bad, but in some of the flatland, it's pretty nasty. No bottom. So again, the cameras never really do justice to some of these inclines and off cambers and such. But this area right here on the way out, so we've been down in that, running along that creek all this way and on the way out, and so there is this one good hill climb that you got to do to get out of there, and lots of rocks on the surface here, so they would shift as you were climbing, because it is, like I said, pretty good incline right here. We didn't have any problems, but some of these loose rock made the trail feel a little sketchy. But with all the obstacles that was on this trail, there was no ropes or straps or winching done at any time. XJ did its thing and followed right along, no problem. A few days later, we did get up to Elephant Hill Trail, another little video we did, and the same power steering pump that we had a problem with decided to shear a couple bolts off the frame, and made getting that thing off of Elephant Hill Trail very interesting. So there's another video on that channel, on our channel, that shows that. It's worth watching, especially the last third of it, where we're coming off of the switchbacks at Elephant Hill with no steering. So we've made the climb now up the worst of that steep hill. So there's just very few little obstacles left, and then it's back down the part we came up. No real challenges to anything that's left here. And we did have a good time. Mom got to drive a good bit, so I could fly the drone. She did ride with Chris a good bit, hang out. I think she's actually riding with him in his Jeep here. We did meet a few people that we were puzzled as what they really planned on doing with some of these rocks that they were going to encounter ahead. So we met this truck here with the all the ground effects around it, and had a lot of running boards and spoilers hanging down that I'm not sure stayed in place if they did the entire track we did. Most likely they did a up to Toquerville Falls and back and skipped the loop that we did. So if you've watched this video this far, congratulations and thanks. We had a great time, and we're just documenting our trip out there. We were out in the Moab, southern Utah area for 2 weeks, and got a few videos we're going to put together. Lots of hours of video to cut them down to even this length of a video, but so if you find yourself out in the southern Utah, hurricane area, Moab, don't overlook the Toquerville Falls trail and experience. If it is in the summertime, it'd be a great place to go swimming and cool down. Very popular. I'm sure it'd be busy on the weekends. We all agree that this Utah trip was one of the best trips we've done as a family, and hope to do more. And this video is just one of the few that we're going to put together for that trip out there. There's one we already have done for Elephant Hill, and we've got a couple for the Poison Spider up in Moab, and different trails, fins and things, and so you can look for those on the channel. We'll be getting those put together. It's taken us almost a year to make this happen. But if you've made it this far through this video, we appreciate you watching, and this would be a great time to hit the like button and leave a comment what you like or don't like about the videos, and be sure to look for the 2 or 3 more that we're going to have put out about this trip out to Moab. Thank you for watching, leaving some comments.